So your rookie year, I mean, in Minnesota, your teammate and another Peterson, not Pat Peterson, but Adrian Peterson was there. He won the MVP that year. What were your takeaways from watching a legend work on a weekly basis, to say the least?
It was wild. It was because he was coming off an ACL, and he really wasn't getting a whole lot of carries until like halfway through the year. Like really, Percy Harvin was. If you would have stopped the season at the halfway point, like Percy would have been our offensive MVP. Like Percy was going nuts,
right?
And Adrian was getting a bunch of yards per carry and everything, but it wasn't like super gaudy overall numbers. And then that back half of the year, it was like if he didn't rush for 200 yards a game, it was like kind of shocking. It was really, it almost spoiled me because that was my first experience in the league. And I was just like, all right, well, we got a running back that'll go for 200 and like 2 or 3 touchdowns. We just play decent on defense. We'll have a chance. So like, it was kind of a ridiculous first experience. And it was wild, man. Like no one had an answer for him. He just refused to be tackled. And he would you could feel him in practice. Like when he would run by you, like it was hard to get out of his way because he would run directly at you in the secondary. And you had to
that's like too.
Shoot, from week 7 to week 17, he averaged 160 yards on the ground.
Yeah, I mean that's
from week 7 to week 17. He was in a whole nother level.
So Harrison, I think we got an opportunity to see another great future running back in this league and Dalvin Cook. Is there any comparisons?
Ooh.
I mean, their production, absolutely. They kind of have different builds. I think like the number one comparison would be like the respect they have in the locker room.
Right.
That kind of comes with being a good player, and they're both good dudes. So that's part of it. But on the field, I think that feeling of when they run by you in practice, because you're not trying to touch that guy or you get in trouble.
Tag him off. You got to tag him off.
Yeah, when Dalvin opens up and takes off, like you can feel how quick he's moving and how quick he gets to the corners. So that you feel, but without really playing against them, I don't think you can really respect how hard it is to tackle those two guys.
Right. And Mac, what did I say? Who was my first impression was in camp?
You said Cook.
No doubt about it.
Well, you know, watching Dalvin at Florida State, I respect tough running backs who don't bow down.
Right.
And the thing about Dalvin, I don't think he's quite as big as AP was in his prime years, especially that 2006 year. But Dalvin doesn't back down. He might get hit in the jaw, might get hit in the mouth. He's coming right back at you, and he's running hard. And like Harrison mentioned, I mean, when he gets the football, you got to hold your breath. If you're rooting against the Vikings, because he can take a yard at any given time. And he showed that ability last year. So when you said what you said about, one of the people that impressed you the most offensively, I wasn't surprised. I've been Florida State. I've been watching Dalvin, going back to his high school days. You know what I'm saying? So seeing what he did at Florida State and now what he's currently doing in the NFL, I'm not surprised. And man, the best is still yet to come. You know what I mean? We talked about that 2,000-yard season from AP. Should have Dalvin stay healthy? He can go get it. Yeah,
no doubt about it. I think we definitely got the pieces around him, for sure, for him to be able to continue that season he had last year. Because the offensive weapons that we have this year, man, it can be quite scary, man.